doing well today. Today is another cut crease. If you guys are getting tired of them, I'm sorry, I just really enjoy them. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, then please continue watching. Hello. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm going to first go ahead and do my brows, and brows are done. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes and I just used ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're probably gonna be jumping into a couple of different palettes today. I'm gonna be using the NYX Ultimate palette, this one here, and I'm also gonna be jumping into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. So I will only be using one shade from this palette, and the only reason being is because I don't see a shade like that in this one. So that is Dusty Rose, and I'm just going to put that on a fluffy brush, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to blend this into the crease. Couldn't have picked a more perfect outfit to wear today with this. Look, it matches my dress perfectly. Okay, like I said, we're just going to blend this into the crease. Like so. Okay, now I'm going to go in with, I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to dip into this darkest shade in this NYX palette, and I'm just going to place that on the outer V. Just like that. Now I'm going to go back in with that first brush, and I'm just going to dip back into that Dusty Rose ever so slightly, and I'm just going to blend around the edges of that just to make sure all that's nice and blended. Just like so. Okay, now I'm going to dip into the shade, I'm going to dip into this shade in this palette, so it's this one here, with that same fluffy brush. And I'm just going to put that around the edges of that Dusty Rose shade, just to make sure all that is blended nicely and we have no harsh lines. Just like that. Okay, we are going to cut this crease today, per usual. Sorry if y'all are getting tired of my cut creases. Okay, just going in with my flat shader brush from BH Cosmetics and some more of that concealer. And like I said, we are using the Pretty Fresh concealer. And I'm just going to do as we usually do and just cut this crease. And I'm just taking the tip of this brush and I'm just fanning that concealer out just to make sure everything will blend nicely in the end. You always want to do, when you cut your crease, you always want to go above your natural crease, because if you don't, it's just going to hide into the bend of the crease. I've got something black on my nose. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my beauty sponge and I'm just going to pat that down just to make sure that it is laid down. And I'm just going to take this really light shade in the NYX palette, the lightest shade in there, and I'm just going to set that shadow down. So now I'm going to take back that smaller detail brush and dip into that dark brown, and I'm just going to put that again. I'm just going to lay some more of that down where we put it the last time, and just make sure everything is blended nicely. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with that, with this brush. It's the Morphe M433, and I'm going to dip back into that Dusty Rose shade, and I'm just going to blend around and just make sure everything looks nice and seamless. Blend, 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 guys. Now I'm just going to take a little bit more of that and place it right here where the concealer meets the darkest shade. So I do want that to blend nicely, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that Dusty Rose shade right in there. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of the black shade in the Anastasia palette, and I'm just going to carefully place that sort of right over top of that other darkest shade that we used. And I'm just going to make sure all that blends nicely together. I'm just gonna place it down first, guys. And now I'm gonna take that brush we just used, that M433, and take a little bit more of that Dusty Rose and just blend out the edges. Patience and blending, guys. Patience and blending. Dip into this shade here, and I'm going to use that to blend everything together. Just going back and forth with those shades until I think that it's blended to my liking, just like so, guys. Okay, now I'm going to take that lightest shimmer shade in the NYX palette, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to place that on the rest of the eye where that concealer was. Just making sure all those shades are blended together and that everything meets nicely. I'm gonna line the eyes today. I gotta use this eyebrow brush, guys, because I'm not sure where my liner brushes are. I have no idea. Okay. And now I'm just going to start by lining. I know, guys, I'm pulling on my eye. I know. Sometimes you just can't help it. And I'm just making this pretty thick, actually, guys. But I'm not doing a wing. I'm just going to keep this just right where it's at. And now I'm just going to take that brush that we used with the black, and I'm going to dip into the black. And I'm just going to diffuse the sides of this. Actually, I think I'm going to use this flat shader brush for this. And I'm just going to I'm going to place it down first, and then I'm just going to like blend it up just so this line is not so harsh. Now I'm going to go back in with that fluffy brush and just blend out like so. I know we're looking a little crazy right now. Okay, just like that. This really just, I've already noticed that this definitely just kind of like more rounds the eyes and like brings them up. Okay, guys, we're gonna finish up the face before we finish up doing lashes and stuff. So I'm gonna go in with Photo Finish Foundation Primer by Smashbox. This is a pore filling primer, and I'm going to go in with Born This Way, and I'm going to use the shade, I'll probably have to mix warm nude and a little bit of my warm sand, and I'm just going to squirt this on the face. And I'm just going to take my Haley's beauty sponge and blend that out. My self tanner's coming off and the creases of my neck, so we're going to blend that out and make that not so noticeable. This foundation is one of the best foundations that I've used. Okay, for concealer, I'm going to go in with Tarte Shape Tape. Now I'm just going to use my Haley's beauty sponge and blend that away. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and set the face, and I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna set the entire face with Jaclyn Hill's Luminous Powder in Do Me. I'm gonna set under my eyes with my Peach Perfect Translucent Powder. Don't recommend eating it, but if you do, it does taste good. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, the shade Do Me, and I'm just going to set the rest of the face. This just has like a luminosity to it, just so it just gives a little bit of a shine to the rest of the face. Like I said, if you are oily, you probably will want to skip on this. So that is just my opinion. I mean, you do whatever you like. I'm just saying, for most people, most oily people, they like to have a matte finish. Okay, now for bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild bronzer today in the shade What Shady Beaches. This is a really, really good bronzer, guys. So skip on hit. It is, and I'm going to use JH05 brush, and I'm just going to bronze up the face. I normally, when I apply my bronzer, I always just apply it on the jawline, and I even bring it up on the cheeks where I would apply blush, and I'm just going to bring that down my neck. Okay, now I'm just going to take my MAC brush. I'm going to contour today using Benefit's Hoola. I know y'all are getting tired of hearing me say it. Tip of the ear to the corner of the mouth. Okay, and now for blush, I'm going to go in with my Milani Romantic Rose. I'm just going to dust that on the cheeks. And now for highlight, I'm just going to use the JH09. I'm just going to grab Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's the collaboration with Amrezy. Putting highlighter everywhere. Okay. I know I just highlighted my nose, but I'm just going to grab my Eco Tools brush with a little bit of that and bring it down the bridge of the nose. And now we're going to go ahead and finish up underneath the eyes. And I'm just going to go in with those same brushes, and I'm going to grab a little bit of the black, and I'm going to just keep that tight into the lash line and making sure everything is blended. With this brush, it is going to come down a little bit. It's not going to stay super precise in the lash line, and that's okay, because I do want this to be very smoky. Okay, and now I'm just going to grab that M433 with a little bit of the shade Dusty Rose. And I'm just going to go pretty much over top of that, but this brush is a little bit bigger, so it is going to blend down a little. Okay, just like so. And today in the waterline, I am going to use a white today. And this is the NYX Professional Makeup Retractable Eyeliner. And it is in the shade white. That way your eyes look really good and awake. Okay, but I am going to go in with CoverGirl's Black Onyx, and I'm going to put that in and I'm going to tight line with that. I don't think that will ever get easier for me, guys. And now I'm just going to curl my lashes, and I'm just using I've got makeup all over my hand. I'm just going to use Tarte's. These are really, really good lash curlers. I did see where Laura Lee posted her like Dollar Tree finds and said that they have the best eyelash curlers. So I'm interested to try those. So I may do that. Should we do like a Dollar Tree makeup look and see how it turns out? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take MAC Giga Black, and I'm just going to put that on the bottom lash line. I talk more towards the end because I am not a very good talker while doing my eye makeup. So with foundation and concealer and stuff, it's a lot easier. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply lashes, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I just put on some lashes, and I used Crave lashes in the style Chocolate Souffle. So I'm going to go ahead and line with NYX in Soft Spoken. I'm just going to fill my entire lid in with this liner. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with Huda Beauty's in the shade Anniversary, and I'm just adding that to the center of the lips. Now I'm going to take the shade Flower Crown from Morphe. It is just a lip gloss, and I'm going to top that with that. Okay guys, that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!